Welcome back to day 88 of learning to read Chinese. This is our lucky number. And we're starting our new unit today. The topic is 养殖. 养殖, which means animal husbandry. If you talk about the yang, it's like raising animals. And the zhi is like breeding them. So, first character of the day is 鸡. It's chicken. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If we look at the etymology, it used to be written differently. The original character, look at that. This is a drawing of a chicken. Look how chickenly that looks. Real pictograph hours. So, over time, it's got abstracted. So on the right is the wings, and this is the body, and it got kind of turned into that. And then at some point, to make it simpler, just replaced it. But this on the right is a character for bird, 鸟, right? So, simplified form looks like that. And if you trace this back, that also originally was a drawing of a bird. But this character for chicken used to be a drawing of this specific bird, and then they replaced it with the generic bird. Next up, ya. Ya is a duck. And can also refer to a cuckold, a guy whose wife cheats on him. Ya huang. It's an insult. This character originally on the right, again referring to birds. On the left, this is a suit of armor. Not sure exactly where that comes from. Could be for this. Well, partially it's for the sound. Could be like the sound that a duck makes, or maybe because it's waterproof. The waterproofing oil is like an armor, or maybe the flat bill or something like that. One of those things. Ball. Ball means to hold or carry in the arms, encircle, cherish, protect, defend, care for. Some of these, it's like, originally refers to holding something, carrying something in your arms, and encircling it with your arms. So an embrace, like a hug, is also this ball. And then from that literal meaning comes the expanded kind of less concrete meanings like cherish and protect and defend, care for, which are like if you hold something close to your chest, kind of has that sort of meaning. Can also refer to give birth to or to adopt a child, because when you birth a child or you adopt a child and you hold it to your bosom and you feed or nourish and such things as that. Ching refers to a crowd, a group. More than 3 people or more than 3 animals. Ching could also be like a group of friends, a group of any other sort of people. The common people, just as an abstract group, or the majority. A herd or flock of animals can mean to assemble or gather together as a verb, comply with convention, or anything that moves in crowds and flocks or in groups. So you'd also use for like 群众, like the audience, like just when you talk about like a mass of people collectively, you would use 群. but also for like group chats or things like that.群. So here, 鸡鸭报群 refers to when chickens and ducks, when they hatch a brood of eggs, and then all the eggs hatch and you got a whole bunch of little chickens. Okay. 猪 is a swine, hogs, pigs. And now, originally this radical on the side referred to pigs just by itself. If you look at the etymology, you will see that originally this was just a drawing of a pig. Not this one, actually replaced. See this with the horizontal stroke on the top? This one is for pigs. This one's actually for dogs, which we'll get to later in the simplified version. But originally, this on the side was a drawing of a pig. And then, suppose people, not really sure why this was made into, why they added this other part on the right. Not really sure what it means, but it's kind of phonetic as well. I believe it's 这, which sounds sort of similar. Zai refers to a young son, a child, a young person, or a young animal, like the offspring. If you look at this, this is a pretty straightforward one, etymology. This is a adult person with a little kid. You see, you can tell that it's a child because the child's got a big head relative to the body. So originally it was written like this, and then the adult and the child switched places. But that's what that is. So the young offspring of people or animals. So it could be sons, could be children, could be young animals. This has an alternate pronunciation, which is 子, and 子 means fine. So if you say 仔细, it's talking about like attention to detail, being careful and attentive. You'd call 仔细, or 仔密 would be dense. So that's this other pronunciation. In this context, it is 仔, because we're talking about 猪仔, which would be little piglets. But see, this 仔is also the 仔in 牛仔, and 牛仔more commonly than referring to young cows or young cattle. 牛仔actually is cowboys, because this also refers to boys. But 猪仔, here's little piglets. 猪仔满 means filled, full of, packed, full, plump, whole. And then in a figurative sense, it can also mean full of yourself, like conceited and self-satisfied. And this is also, there's a people group called man, and then also commonly used to mean quite. I think this is also sort of regional, like more of a southern China thing, whereas in northern dialects I'm more likely to hear tiang. But man can mean quite as a modifier for any adjective to describe its intensity. If you look at the etymology on this, on the left, obviously this is water. On the right, this was 2 jugs, 2 kind of containers, and you can consider them full of water, and that is why it's filled or full. 卷 is a pen, a fold, or a sty for livestock, so the structure in which they're kept at night when they're not out feeding. And these alternate readings kind of related. 圈 is like the verb form of 卷. When you put the animals into the pen, you shut them in there. Or if you shut people, like put a person in jail, or confine something into a space, sort of like a pen. 卷. So 卷 is the noun and 卷 is the verb. Then we also have 圈, which is a circle, a ring, a group, like a social circle, or an area, a trap, which is meant to encircle, a bend or a loop, like in a road. 圈. And they all sort of sound similar, because inside here, this is 卷, which means roll, or gather together. If you roll up something, then it kind of all turns into a bundle, right? And then you put a circle around it, so it stays in there. So 猪仔满圈, because pigs, I think they have like 12, 13 piglets in a litter or something. 14 even. I don't remember. Anyway, they have pretty large litters. So 猪仔满圈 is the little piglets fill up the pigsty. Okay, next, 驴. 驴 is a donkey. These guys. And this character also used to look different. This on the right used to be 卢, which is partially phonetic, but it also has a meaning of black in color. It's referring to how donkeys in general are sort of gray, black, brown sort of coat. But over time, I guess they thought this was too complicated to write, so replaced it with this. It's referring to how donkeys are smaller than horses? Seems to be what this is saying. 驴. Next up is 骡, mule, and a mule is a cross between a donkey and a horse. So this on the right is 累. If you look at this, it's referring to how the mule was used to carry and tow loads, because they're strong and they have great endurance. They're steady on a slope and such. What's a mule? 啃 means to gnaw or nibble using your teeth. So this etymology on the right is also 啃, so that's phonetic, but it also originally referred to the meat on a bone. So this part of the foot refers to the bone, and then this is like a hunk of meat that grows on the bone, and on the left you got a mouth. And how do you use your mouth to eat meat off a bone? It's 啃. 坡 originally meant a slope. It can also refer to a plain, a large, low-lying field. A slope, a hill. I think this large, low-lying field definition is a regional dialect. Usually we're talking about hills and slopes. if you use po, pretty much always look like that. So on the left, tu is dirt or soil or earth, and on the right, pi is skin. So the skin of the earth is like the surface of a hill, something like that. And when we say Lü Luo Kun Po, we're talking about how there are donkeys and mules grazing on the hills, on the slopes. Next up, Quan. Quan means dog. This is the original ancient word for dog. If you look at the etymology, originally it was a drawing. If you turn your head sideways to the right, it's a drawing of a dog. Over time, it's become abstract to the point where it no longer really looks like a dog unless you think really hard. But that is what this was originally. And then also, this is used on the sides of all those other animal words, another like different sort of abstracted form of this character is the radical used on other words that refer to animals, as seen here. This bit on the right, this is like you can barely tell. This being the head, that's the ear. This is the front legs. This is the back legs. This is the tail. But that's where that comes from. Quan, dog. Gou also means dog. This character appeared later. Originally, dogs were only called Quan. I guess probably in everyday speech, people were calling them Gou and not Quan. And then they had to make another word to write Gou. So, this on the right, Gou. Phonetic on the left, like I said, is another form of this character. So the strokes are kind of different shapes, but they are the same components, same meaning. Now, Gou, unlike Quan, which only refers to the animal, Gou also has these other meanings. You talk about a bad person, an evildoer, someone who's cursed, just someone who really sucks. It can also mean to flatter. That's gotta be like inside. Yeah. If you say 狗是 or 这帮人专会苟着他. 苟 can be used to mean to flatter or suck up to someone. You can call a terrible person go. What is this? I said go to go Yeah, so there's a lot of insults and derogatory things that you can say and that have dog in them. Hu means protect, guard, defend, or shelter. This is the hu and bao hu, which is the word that you usually see used for protect, guard, defend, or shelter. Shelter as a verb. I would say protect, guard, defend are probably more accurate. But this is often the case with these dictionaries translating from one language to another, is that the scope of any one word, the scope that any one word covers in one language isn't necessarily the same as the closest translation in the other language. So you might have like a Venn diagram where the intersection is like 50% of the meaning in each language, but then there's also the other 50% in which these two words don't match up and they have different meanings. So, translation's hard. Who? If you look at the etymology, words on this page suck. This one, like, the thing on the right used to be a different one. This was, grassy hills or something, and there's a bird, and there's a hand. This had a meaning of, getting something, possessing it, and I guess when you obtain and possess something, you want to protect your property, something like that. And when they simplified it, they replaced it with a hu, and a hu refers to like your home, your family. So it kind of has that meaning of like protecting and taking care like you do with your family. Hu. An means originally a river bank. So this is the slopes, the kind of mountainous, higher ground that exists on either side of a river. It can also refer to any high position in the terrain or steps. It can also mean lofty, like I said, any sort of a greater elevation in the terrain, or in a more abstract sense, can refer to a haughty or arrogant person. And here we are talking about, again, the slopes on which our livestock graze. So maybe the horses, maybe the donkeys, mules, maybe the sheep and goats or whatever. When they're grazing, oftentimes you have a sheepdog, or like, you have a dog looking after and protecting the livestock from any sort of threats, like natural predators in the area which might steal away your livestock and eat them while they're eating the grass. Or probably also keep them from like falling into the river or drowning and stuff like that. So those are our 2 lines on animal husbandry for today, and we'll take a look at the next 2 lines tomorrow. Till then, see you next time. Don't forget to practice. Don't forget to review.